Good morning, ladies and gents, boys and girls, dudes and dudettes and bambinos too. It is Monday, the 2nd of December. We're into December, people. The build up to Christmas has begun, and the fixtures for the Premier League and, more importantly, fantasy are heating up, aren't they? We have midweek fixtures this week, but first, our 10 o'clock part will solely be about game week 13 and how we got on and how everyone got on in general. That's right. We had some big matches, didn't we? We had Arsenal who played against West Ham on the Saturday night, wasn't it? And then we had that big one yesterday and the Sunday. It's Liverpool versus Manchester City. Now, without any further ado, let's go all out fantasy Premier League and stick on the share screen option so you can see. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a look at what happened first and foremost before I do a better reveal of what happened with my team. So, if you remember on Friday night, we had Brighton versus Southampton, and I would have had potentially two dogs in the fight in this one, two players, but they decided to rest Dunk. Annoyingly, it was a risk bringing him in to a degree, I suppose, because he's coming back. But I read before that he was fully fit and he had trained, so I was hoping that they would have changed it around and got the captain into the team. They didn't. So it was 1-1 Brighton and Southampton. In terms of players, we had Jorginho Rota. He got a 2-pointer for me in that game. There he is, 87 minutes he played. And Dunk, I won't say annoyingly, but Dunk played. He came on. That's probably a positive thing. Maybe he'll start in the next match. So I got a point from that. And then we've got the matches which happened on Saturday, don't we? Now, Brentford were really good against Leicester. I have Jan Wissa in my team. I decided to keep him. Not that it was any question really, but I was sort of toying with other players. But in all honesty with you, keeping him was pretty much the way to go. I did ditch Van der Berg because I thought his time's going to be coming up soon. And it will be, to be fair. And I also did it in order to bring in Lewis Dunk. So, yes, I got a good set of points in that one. I got 8 from Johan Wissa in that match. Hope you guys did well as well. But one thing I will say, Mbuemo owners, where's your points? I know you had one taken away, but technically speaking, Mbuemo shouldn't have got an assist because he did technically kick it in. It took a deflection and all that kind of stuff. So, yes, Mbuemo, all hype about Mbuemo. He's a brilliant player, don't get me wrong. He's been such a good player, but he didn't do anything against Leicester, apparently. Crystal Palace, Newcastle. A lot of people, remember on that poll, were telling me to get Lewis Hall, got to get Lewis Hall or Burn. They conceded yet again. Yet again, no clean sheet for Newcastle. Burn would have got me 4 points if I'd have gone for him, just because of a couple of bonus points, really. Again, it could have brought him in, but he's got Liverpool next and Brentford. And I think he will probably concede against both of those teams. And then we'll see. We'll see after that point. Maybe swap over from Dunk. Because remember, I got that 4.4 million to work with. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. I did also look briefly at the Crystal Palace defenders, but quite frankly, they haven't been performing particularly well. Muniz, who was obviously lucky, aside, that is being there. I mean, they did well against, aside from the goal that Gay scored. If he doesn't score that goal, he's conceded, and he's only got a clean sheet against Spurs in the last fair amount of fixtures, really. So they haven't been exactly clean sheet magnets, have they? Then we move over to Nottingham Forest. And I did look at Nottingham Forest. Remember, there was one player I looked at in particular, only as a background option, potentially, as Alex Moreno. Guess what? He didn't play. Well, he did. He came on, but that doesn't really count. He didn't start the 60 minutes. He didn't get any real full-on points. Instead, Nico Williams played, interestingly. He's someone I've been looking at as potential 4.3 Nottingham Forest, but him and Alex Moreno seem to be sharing minutes, so it's probably going to be a no-go, I think, for the Forest defence, unless one of them gets 100% set, and then maybe there'll be an option again. Wood, wow, is all I'll say about this man. Chris Wood, he's brilliant, isn't he, really? I mean, Arsenal, Newcastle, he didn't really do much against Arsenal. Newcastle didn't score, but other than that, I mean, look at this. 9 goals already this season in 13 matches. Really good player. So, yes, a fantastic signing for them. Ipswich, once again, no clean sheets from them. I was interested to see a price rise. You might want to check it, guys. Burgess went up the 3.9 defender, didn't he? I remember if I was toying with him or Kwanzaa. I went Kwanzaa just for the Liverpool factor side of things, really. But yeah, possibly should have gone Burgess. But at the same time, Burgess, I think, is going to be kicked out the team, and you're going to get Greaves back very soon. Wolves, now people, let me say one name to you, Cunha. Was he unlucky? I didn't watch the match Wolves Bournemouth actually. Did he do well? Did he look like he was going to score? Did he perform? I mean, he's not even in the bonus systems here at all. Strand Larson was someone I looked at a while back as an option, but again, he's a bit patchy, isn't he? Really, 2 goals, brilliant play. An assist, then nothing against a team that you think he'd do well against. Then a goal against Crystal Palace. Then nothing against a team you think he'd do something against. Then he scored against Man City, surprisingly. Scored against Brentford, which is possible. Fair enough against Liverpool. Against Villa, you'd expect him to do well. Newcastle, he got an assist. So it's a bit of a sort of up, down, up, down, up, down, isn't it, with Wolves? But everyone will say this, and I'm sure you're screaming at this video saying, Cunha, Cunha, Cunha. If you're going to bring a player in, Cunha. So there you go. If you remember, I had Dawson as an option for the 4.4. Very pleased I didn't go with him. At least I got 1 point from Dunk rather than nothing from Craig Dawson. So that was a good thing as well. He only played 45 minutes of the game. So yes, Bournemouth. I mean, I was looking at Evanison because he's up and down, but he's a good player when he plays well. For when Bournemouth are doing okay and they're scoring, Evan Nielsen's involved, isn't he? So on the radar, but not better than Visa, and not better than Jackson, and not better than Haaland. So there you go. Although people will say, well, Haaland's not very good right now. Then we had the big game, the one that I mentioned a minute ago, Arsenal. I put in a post on X and on Facebook about Bukayo Saka long before this match, long before many years ago. I remember when he was in the youth team at Arsenal, and I was thinking, this guy looks brilliant. I watched a little snippet of a video from him before he made it into the first team. What a player Bukayo Saka's turned into. Like or dislike, he is a fantastic player. That is one thing you cannot deny at all about this guy. Now, Arsenal did really well for the majority or half of that first half. Then they conceded Van Bissaka's goal. Then they conceded again Emerson. And I thought, you know what? Please, no, don't make this a capitulation, a typical Arsenal capitulation out of nowhere. But we won in the end 5-2. Quite a crazy scoreline. Shame about Raya. Could have done with a bit more than just 2 points in that game, really. But we were sloppy for bits of it. Gabriel, if you're a Gabriel owner, last season I had Gabriel actually, because remember he dropped in price because he was out of the team briefly, and that was like, well, I'm getting Gabriel, and he was an absolute incredible asset really to have last season. This season was always about set and forget, cheapest way into Arsenal defence, which as it stands, there still will be Raya. Timber is another player I've been looking at as well and toying with. So maybe if I want to do a big flip and change the goalkeeper things around after the new year, but I don't think I'll probably do that. So as for the West Ham assets, I've only got one, as with a lot of people. Fabianski didn't do great, did he really? Got a yellow card, conceded 5 goals, but they did that sort of moving. He only saved twice as well, so he wasn't really involved in much. But at 4.1 million, I got him back when he was 4. He's 100% definite, 19.1%. If you guys agree with me, again, any guys who've got Havertz, well done, you got a goal, and that's about it really in terms of the Arsenal West Ham. Obviously, being an Arsenal fan, I'm elated. We won, we're second in the league. Good stuff, fantastic. But the chasing pack, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way down to a certain point, are right on our tails. Man City there as well. So, and we're quite a bit behind Liverpool. I mean, 9 points, something like that, I think it is. So, yeah, Arsenal need to kick on. Then yesterday came, and Chelsea. Sort of all eyes on Chelsea for me, within reason. I have a few players from this fixture, Chelsea Villa. I obviously have Nicholas Jackson, and I have Colwell, and I have Rodgers. So I made that decision, didn't I, really? I've been saying it for weeks. I've been toying with Rodgers, Rutter from Brighton. Who do I play? Who do I rotate? So I decided to rotate. Rutter started for me this weekend, and Rodgers on the benches because I thought the fixture was a bit tricky. Also, Villa away from home. Good choice in the end as well, because Rodgers didn't deliver. So yes, instead, Nicholas Jackson naturally was a starter for me all day long. Palmer did well yesterday. He didn't do anything for a few weeks, actually, looking at the history on this. So it was a good game for him. But all eyes are on Jackson. He's gone up in price as well. and I have no interest in getting rid of him, especially with the fixtures coming up against Southampton. I think you do some Spurs most likely, and then look at the big green patch after that. It's all about Chelsea, and that is the reason why I've got Colwell ready to go as well. So obviously, Rodgers didn't do much yesterday in the game, didn't get in the bonus points system. Rutter did, by the way, have a bicycle career, an opportunity, didn't he, against Southampton? So, Rutter was involved, so that helps a little bit as well. But Colwell got me a clean sheet, which was lovely as well. So fantastic game for me yesterday. Then Man United, remember, I was looking at Martinez, which he would have got me 5, a yellow card, and a suspension. So kind of pleased I did dodge it, but not pleased at the same time. But pleased, but not, you see, it was a bit of a difficult one, really. He would have got me 5 points, which would be more than what I've already got, which is a 1-pointer from Dunk. But he would have been out of the team for the next match, which, to be fair, is against Arsenal. So I couldn't afford to rest him neither, because remember, my bench is an injured Konate and Kwanzaa, or would have been Burgess potentially, that one of those two. So yeah, I have got Ahmad Diallo on my radar. He is someone I'm looking at in terms of form. Maybe Rodgers, maybe Rutter. I'm going to just keep an eye on him, see how he goes against Arsenal, Forest, and Man City. If he keeps his place on that right side, maybe. My only issue with Diallo is that he's playing a right wing back role rather than a winger as such. So there's expectancy for him to defend and attack potentially. So even though he's done well in the last few games, I need to make sure that's not a one-off. Mikalenko, people, you guys were also telling me in that poll to get Mikalenko. Yeah, I mean, he's got some okay fixtures coming up. He's got Wolves, but then it just goes mad after that point. So, then he's got Forest, Bournemouth, and Villa. So Mikalenko, Everton is a no-go, and I'm pleased I rejected that. Spurs versus Fulham. I had a player in this one. I had a player that a lot of people know about, and I sort of bragged about having from his beginning of his purple patches, Brennan Johnson. Everyone likes a bit of Brennan Johnson. 9.4%. He has kept up his form, to be fair, but Ipswich and Crystal Palace and West Ham, he has been flying. Brentford, I got him around Brentford time. Brentford, Man United, Brighton, he scored against. Villa, he did well against. Man City, and he's obviously scored against Fulham and got 3 bonus points. Also, I had a little look at the history of the defence, because you remember I was toying with maybe Dragusin and Davies, because that's up for that 4.3.4. They are potential options at some point. Maybe Dragusin, not Davies. But again, Van de Ven's back soon, as is Romero. So I've got to keep an eye on that if I'm ever going to consider this. I don't have any Fulham assets. I did look at Anderson. Pleased I dodged that, because he's out for a bit longer than expected. So it's a no-go for the Fulham defence. And then we've got the big ones, haven't we, ladies and gentlemen? The big match, the 4:00 kickoff, Liverpool versus Manchester City. Surprised me a tiny bit. Manchester City, I thought they were a bit meh. I expected them to come back and maybe put a little bit of pressure, make it 2-1, 2-2, something like that in that match. But at the end of the day, it was all about Liverpool. Let's be honest. They absolutely steamrolled them. They did. Liverpool were fantastic. Man City a bit all over the place. A couple of chances. In this game, I had a few players. As you guys know, I had sort of 3 in the end. I wanted the 4th in Konate, maybe even Kwanzaa, who did play briefly at the end. So you could argue I had 3/4 players in this particular match. So the big one was Mohamed Salah. It was without question. Really, it was him or Saka. The irony is if I'd have gone Saka, I would have got more points in the end. 3 assists and a goal would have got me 18 for Bukayo, but it had to be King's Mo Salah, didn't it really? It had to be him. It got me 30, not too far behind. Popular captain choice in general, owned by 58.2%. Makes sense. I did a poll on this one about whether you guys, Salah, how you did, whether you think I think personally he's a legend now. Even if he leaves at the end of the season, I still think he's been one of the best fantasy Premier League players. I really do. He's up there with the big ones like Henry, back in the day, Ronaldo, Rooney. So yes, fantastic player. Pleased to put him as a captain. Then I was sort of semi-forced into the whole, well, I say forced, not entirely forced, but then I had that problem with the defence side of things. Konate is out injured. He's going to be out for a couple of weeks. So Kwanzaa was my backup along with Dunk. Both of them got a point. So at least I've got not as starting players that are going to get me a point or two, but I'd rather have fully 90-minute players. So I'm going to have to think about that. So yes, And obviously, I had Haaland as well, and I still don't want to get rid of Haaland, despite the fact that his price has dropped to 50 mil, which is ironically what he started the season with. The reason I'm not going to get rid of him is I've said this in the previous post. I'll say it again: one goal, one set of goals, a couple of goals, a little run, and I think Haaland's going to explode again. I really do. It could well be against Forest. It could well be against Crystal Palace. It could even be against Man United. You know, in the Manchester derby on the 15th. Could be Villa. Could be against any of these three sides. All it takes is just an opportunity for him, and I think his tails will be, and that'll be it. Man City will start to. I think they'll go off a little bit. It's just waiting for that moment, isn't it? Really. Salah also got 2 bonus points in that match as well, which is good. So ended 13. So captaincy 26, which is great news. Now, ladies and gents, for the moment you've been waiting for, my squad value first and foremost is 102.7. Let me know, guys, what yours is. Obviously, I hope you guys are checking me out on YouTube or Twitch, but I'll let you know about the socials. I'm on Facebook, AJP85-channel. I'm on X. This is AJ. I forgot for AJ1985P. Helps to remember in social media. So X is AJ1985P. YouTube is AJ Hardy 85, and Twitch is A_J_P_8_8_5. Check it out for all things FPL. Like, follow, and subscribe if you would please. Don't just stalk me, and check out the bits. Like, subscribe. What you got to miss? It's a click of a button. You might as well while you're watching. But yes, the moment you've all been waiting for. You probably saw me flick down and perhaps you even saw the cheeky points reveal. There it is. I got 82 points in game week 13 scattered. So the average was 60 points this week. The highest was 144. The game week rank, though, for that one is what that was. Yes, so it's not too bad. So yes, let's have a little look. So overall points, I'm on 790. Let me know in the comments or DM or messages in general what your overall points are currently right now. My rank has got better. I'm 674,697th out of 10 million. Doing good. 82 is very, very solid. Very good point. So the majority of my points naturally came from Mo Salah, didn't they, really, as a captain in the end? Would have been better if I'd gone Bukayo Saka. He was my vice, so I was thinking in the right lines with those two clearly there. Johnson had a really good midfield performance against Fulham, and he scored against those guys, so he did really well. Jackson once again scoring in his match against Villa, and Visa doing very well against Leicester with his goal also. Colwell. Disappointingly, Colwell was my only player to get 6 points. I did have Rico Lewis. He conceded. The thing about Rico Lewis is I was watching him against Liverpool, and he had that chance, and he had a chance to score, and he didn't do that sort of instep sort of shot, which he sort of flicked with his foot. And I thought, if that goes in, that'll just annoy me, because I knew deep down Kwanzaa was coming on. I could feel it. I thought, Trent's just come back from injury. I'm surprised by what Slot did actually there, because he left Kwanzaa over on the right hand side, didn't he? And Gomez in the centre. But I think he's probably that to me is an indication that, by the way, Kwanzaa is not going to be playing. Even I know people will be saying, well, obviously, come on, Gomez has already played. I think he's a choice for Slot as Konate's backup player. But that, to me, almost spells the end of Kwanzaa's even very, very slim opportunity of playing. So he'll be a 3.9 bench warmer going forwards. As I say, it's bad to say, but I am hoping that something happens with Southampton and maybe Russell Martin gets moved on a little bit, because there is Bola Kotchup who's at their team right now. He's 3.9. It'll be interesting to see what Rude does at Leicester, although I don't think Luke Thomas is going to get a chance, really. So yeah, there's the end of the points. What do you guys think? Is that a good scoreline? I think it's a really good scoreline. Personally, you 82 points when the average is 60. I've done a poll which is open until tomorrow before game week 14 in terms of points and how many points you guys got in game week 13 so far. It looks like the majority of you got 60 to 90 or 90 plus points. So well done, guys. You're sort of sitting in my bracket, give or take. A couple of you got the 0 to 30 and 30 to 60. Yeah, how come is the question. What went wrong for you guys? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the DMs. What went wrong? What happened? Why did you get such a low score? Who failed you on the weekend? Did you not put Mo Salah down as a captain if you've got him in your team? Because if you didn't, and you didn't put Saka, or even for that matter Palmer, there's something wrong with you. So there you go. Did you take a bit of a punt? Are you falling behind in your league? That's the question, really, isn't it? So yeah, so a lot of people basically are jumping on the sort of 60 to 90 point marks, and 90 plus. So well done, guys. That's good scores. That is, if you got those, well done. Did you beat the average? How much did you beat the average by? That'll be interesting to know as well. Even though you've got those amounts, because some of you say 60 to 90, but you could have got 60 right on the dot. So the average points this week is 60. So that's good stuff. We have got matches coming up tomorrow, haven't we? So the deadline is 6 o'clock tomorrow. Don't forget, people. So there is a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday fixtures in the Premier League. So yeah, there's bits there. I do have a 2:30 live stream, which I'll be doing this afternoon, and we'll be looking ahead to game week 14. The problem with what I'm doing, right? I'll talk about players that are in form, etc. I'll talk about players that I'm considering for game week 14, but because of the lack of funds and the fact that I'm still playing around with defenders, etc., and trying to get the best 4.3, 4.4 defender, our focus, if you're watching, or the general focus really is on defense. And let's be very honest, look at that team right now on the screen, if you're watching live or if you're watching the video back, and tell me, okay, Kanate aside now, he's injured. That's not a half decent side. Dunk, when he starts to play more, is potentially going to be a decent player for Brighton. They got a clean sheet in the last match, so providing they keep that form going, Dunk not only is a potential clean sheet option, but he's also one of these people who's dangerous, isn't he, from set pieces, etc. And he scores the odd goal. Take out Kwanzaa for a second, because Rico Lewis will probably come in, or Kanate when he's back from his injury, which would be interesting to see when that is, unknown. So my only concern with Kanate is he is one of these people that when he gets injured is out for a while. So my question to you for the end of this video, and just a general thought going forwards, should I, and it's a bit of a risk because bringing him back in might be tricky, but should I get rid of Kanate and bring in Joe Gomez? Then I'll have the Gomez Kwanzaa cover. I have no interest in any other Liverpool players as it stands right now, apart from Mo Salah, who's already in the team. Should I play that double up card? 5 weeks, 6 weeks is quite a long time to be out for. Will Kanate drop sufficiently in price for me to bring him back is another question as well. Currently, right now, he stands at 5.3. When I brought Kanate in, Kanate was, let's have a little look. So I brought Kanate in when he was 5.1. Is there a chance that Kanate drops to 5.1 for me to bring him back by the time? See, I know it sounds silly, but that's the margin we're working in. I don't want to lose out on the Liverpool coverage, as it's called. I think they will do really well. I know they've got some sort of odd fixtures in between, but look at the greens. And let's say 5 weeks, Everton. So Newcastle, Everton, Fulham, Spurs, and then we're talking after the new year pretty much, aren't we then? So by that point, they'll have played Everton, might do well against, pretty much do well against Fulham, but do well against them. Unknown with against Spurs, but maybe draw, maybe a clean sheet. Leicester, I expect them to beat, and West Ham, I expect them to beat. Man U, potentially, and then we hit Nottingham Forest. So you're looking 5 to 6 weeks from now, round about January, aren't you? So the big question to sort of end this part is, I've done well. Thumbs up. My captain choice was good. Thumbs up. Sitting on the fence with Dunk. We'll see how he goes, perhaps for another game a week. Although I'm very honest with you, in that I've looked at the price predictor. You can see at the top of my screen right this second, and Dunk is not looking good. If he goes down in price to 4.3, I am stuck with a 4.3 defender only, and that really closes a problem. So I'm clever in that the way I do things, and you guys say, don't waste a transfer, AJ, don't do it. But I'm almost toying with the idea of a week without Dunk till the weekend, or a game week without Dunk, shall we say, and let him drop potentially tomorrow, or keep an eye on his predictor price. And if he goes almost certain to drop, I can bring it back for 4.3, can't I? And I know you're going to say it was a waste, but it's not, because I'm toying with, I'm in that sort of pool of playing around with the defenders. The rest of the team, to me, will do fine. Colwell, I think, will keep performing. He's got Southampton next. We've got Lewis against Nottingham Forest. I'll probably play him. Saka's a definite. More likely, Johnson. It's one of Johnson will definitely play. Salah will definitely play. Then it's Rodgers or Jorginho. Again, performing. I'll see about who I'm going to play with those two. And then the front three, they pick themselves. Visa, Jackson, Haaland, all day long. Off you go. Perform. So really, my only issue is the defence right now, and it's Dunk. I brought him in for a game week. Hindsight's funny, actually. I probably shouldn't have done that, but I just looked at the fixtures and thought, go on. It's better to get him in than not to have him in. But now I'm thinking about getting him out that soon after bringing him in. So right this second, the $1 million question is Dunk out, another defender in just for a game week, and then bring him back maybe if his price drops. And then going forwards, Kanate out, Gomez, question mark. Let me know what you think. Comments or in the DMs, guys. Don't forget, check out my socials. Facebook, AJP85-channel, X, AJ1985P, YouTube, AJ Hardy85, and I'm on Twitch. Follow, like, and subscribe, of course. A_J_P_P_8_5, and I will see you, fantastic people, at 2:30 this afternoon, where we talk game week 14. But I will leave it on the screen right this second. That was my points. That was my performance. On game week 13, I think I did well, even though there are patches of meh scores. The core set of players performed well. Colwell, Saka, Salah, Johnson, Risa, and Nicholas Jackson. Thumbs up to all of you. I will see you guys at 2:30. Enjoy the rest of your day. Tune in 2:30 and we'll talk game week 14. Yes, we will. Which is exciting because it's tomorrow. Yes, it is. Take it easy, guys. I'll see you at 2:30.